Are you guys, can you hear me? Oops, hold on one second. No, I'm gonna delete this. Stream. All right, guys, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Text me, please. Oh, text me, guys. Let me see. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yes. Hey. Okay. All right. Let's do that over again, guys. All right. So well, I was talking about to myself what you can do with a 501c3 tax exemption. So the first thing we talked about is, I believe we talked about you can pay no taxes on your property tax. So we have, if you had a 501c3 and you got a building, you could possibly pay no taxes on your building for certain nonprofits. And I showed you the application for that and how that, if you have your 501c3, how you can get that. I also showed you how you can get some free houses as a nonprofit if you had that 501c3, especially if you were going through the land bank in Detroit. I showed you the application for that. The other application that I showed you was a sponsorship application. So I showed you how you could get money from Ford, Verizon, Pepsi Cola, all of these huge big companies that systematically give you money. And I showed you the application and how you apply for that. So now today I'm actually going to show you the sales tax exemption application for a for sales tax. So one of the things, let me share my screen here. One of the things that you do when you go into a store is you let me share that there. You go into a store and you are paying a sales tax. So if you're in a state, some states have a really high sales tax, some states have low sales tax. In Michigan, we have 6% sales tax. I believe Washington has like 12%. It's a high. I went there and I'm like, wow, I bought the McDonald's sandwich and the tax was almost as much as the sandwich. Not really, but you know what I'm trying to say. So if you are a nonprofit, if you're buying equipment, you're buying desks, you're buying food, you don't pay sales tax on food, but you're buying desks, you're buying computers, whatever you're buying with a sale, you don't have to pay the sales tax. So I am actually going to go through and show you guys the Michigan sales tax, sales and use tax certificate of exemption. And basically, you can apply here for a one-time purchase or blanket certificate or recurring business relationship. And you can kind of put up their maximum of 4 years. This certificate is invalid for all 4 sections, if all 4 sections are completed by purchaser. But basically, items covered by this certificate. And then you can kind of like give them a basis for a claim. But in this case, we're just going to be looking at number 8, nonprofit internal revenue code 501c3 or 501c4 exemption, exempt organization. And you just kind of, sign it, and you declare that you are, a nonprofit. You're going to show them your nonprofit certificate, and then you turn it in. So if you are a nonprofit, you have a 501c3 certification or tax exemption, you don't have to pay sales tax when you go to the store, and that's awesome. So, today is kind of really short. Sorry for the no sound that I had before. Thank you guys for letting me know that I was on mute. I really appreciate that. Um, but that's one thing. So let's go back over. We got property tax exemption. I'm going to show you again. Property tax exemption for Michigan. If you were a charitable nonprofit housing exemption, you don't have to pay those taxes. I also showed you for there's a community partner program in Detroit. But if whatever your land bank is in your state, you can still apply for something. Pretty much every state and city has owned property. And if you are a nonprofit, you will be able to apply for a property tax exemption, but you can also possibly apply to become one of their community partners and get properties. So if you were going to do some lot beautification, agriculture, rehabilitation, residential construction, you could possibly get extreme discounts. I know some people that got their properties for $1 from the land bank as a nonprofit. We talked about those sponsorships, which I'll go more into detail on another date. But today was really about that sales tax exemption, which is another thing that you can do as a nonprofit that has a tax exemption status. All right, guys. Thank you again for joining me today.